Do we have any Imelda Marcoses in our audience? Me personally, I only own 2 or 3 different pairs of shoes, which I rotate through and replace as and when required. I only have 1 set of feet. I don't see why I need 100 different options. Shoes is this week's theme for our What's in Your Closet Sew-Along, hosted by Pat Sloan at her website, ilovetomakequilts.com. If you haven't done so already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, jump over to Pat's website, download this week's free pattern, come back here, and I'll show you how I do it. A super easy block for the second last week of our What's in Your Closet Sew-Along, and I have all of my pieces cut as per usual, as per the pattern. We're simply doing another bordered 9 patch when you break it down, but first we have to make a little component to then make up our 9 patch. So you'll see me laying out everything here as per the pattern, and then we're just going to take our light and medium rectangles there and sew them all together in pairs. While we're in the spirit of making the components we need for this bordered 9 patch, we'll take 2 of our long light strips and we're going to attach a small dark square to either end of those, and these will make up the top and the bottom of the border for our 9 patch. As you would have seen there, I chain pieced all of those pieces through, so we just need to clip them apart, and because our strips were long enough, I was able to bend them back and do both ends at the same time, as you can see on the bottom left hand corner there. We're now just going to press all of these, and for our little rectangle units that we turned into a 3.5-inch square, we'll just press towards the darker of the 2 fabrics. But for our sashing pieces, where we attach the dark squares onto the end, we're going to press those in towards that background or light fabric, and that will allow us to nest that once we come to do the final border. We now just need to pull in our large dark squares and create our 9 patch for the center of this block, and we just need to lay that out as per the pattern. And I've popped a little inset in the top left hand corner there for you to follow, but it is just a simple 9 patch. So we'll lay those components out as I am showing you here, and it would appear that I seem to be missing a square. We don't quite have a 9 patch here, so I'll just quickly cut one of those and I'll be right back with you. And lickety split, we now have a 9 patch which we can sew together by starting with all of our vertical seams and then our horizontal seams. Pressing throughout will be towards the solid dark squares, and that way everything will nest nicely when we are sewing all of this together. As I was constructing these rows, you would have seen that I just gave it a quick finger press, and grunge, which is the fabric I'm using, is very good for that. But before starting to do our horizontal seams, I just want to give those a good press with the actual iron to make sure that they are going to stay in place and that I can get nice crisp points. With our first horizontal seam now sewn, and you would have seen that everything did nest, I just picked a direction and pressed. In this instance, I pressed up towards the top row, so when I attach this next one, I'll press down towards that bottom row, and that will complete the center of our block. We now need to just add the border to this block, or the sashing, and for that I'll pull in the last 2 remaining strips of our light fabric that haven't had anything attached to them yet, and sew those to either side of our 9 patch, and then press out towards those solid strips, and then we can add the top and the bottom row of our sashing, and our pressing from earlier will allow those two to nest also, and then we will press that strip out away from the center of the block. As I said before, with the final 2 pieces of our sashing / border now attached to this block, we just need to press that out away from the center of the block, and our easy peasy lemon squeezy block for week 15 is done. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here and joining me for another fun-filled week of how-to step-by-step tutorials. I really do enjoy putting these together, and I would love for you to leave me a comment in the box below. It really helps me out, and it's a great way of engaging with you all. Also, while you're there, put the little thumbs up for me, will ya? There's a treasure. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and tickle that little bell icon to be notified of all my future releases. I will see you all again real soon. Bye for now.